After the many days we have returned, and now I will try to stay consistent during this journey. So I will try to upload daily video from now. So let's see our today's problem. Our today's problem is LeetCode 1787 number problem, and that is sum of beauty of all substring. Before understanding this problem, we will try to understand this problem statement, input and output. After this, identification of this problem statement, and then explanation of this identification, and after it we will code this question, and you can try run of this question. So let's see the problem statement, input and output of this question. So the question is saying that the beauty of a string is a difference in the frequencies between the most frequent and the least frequent characters. So basically question is saying that we have to work with all the substring of given the strings. So this is our string, and we will work on all its substrings. So the question is saying that what will be the beauty of that specific substring. So beauty will be the beauty will be like for this. Let's see this example. So this is the example A, B, A, C. So beauty, what will be the beauty? Beauty, that means the frequency between the most frequent and less frequent character. So in this example, what will be the most frequent character? In this A, A, and A. So A is repeated three times. So most frequent character will be the A, and least frequent character B is repeated only once. So B is the least frequent character. Okay. So what will be the beauty of this specific string? So beauty will be the 3 minus 1. 3 is the most frequent, that is A, and 1, that means the least frequent character, that is B. So 3 minus 1 is equals to. After this, when we calculate all these beauties of all the substring, then this beauty will be added to the result, and after it we will return our result. So I think we have understood the problem statement. The question is what is the question is saying. So first of all we should say that the what is the example. Example is s. S is the input. Input is like a b c b. So this is the example, and what will be the all the substrings of this. So a first substring is, first of all start with a. So first substring is A, next one is AA, third is AA and B, fourth is AABC, and fifth will AABC and B. So please adjust with some mouse over because I have not touchpad at this time. I will try to be by by the touchpad for the more explanation about the questions. So let's see the example. So uh, we have calculated the substrings of with the base of A. So first substring will be like A. So beauty must be like we cannot calculate our beauty when the only have one repeated characters. So in this condition, we have two repeated two at least two characters compared with the most frequent and least frequent character. So first of all, we calculate if A is also the substring of A, B, C, B, but we cannot calculate the beauty with A substring because we have only one character. Okay, so also we cannot calculate our beauty because A is most frequent and only A is repeated in this specific substring. So next substring is A and B. Okay, you can see over here also. So A and B. So in this condition, we have the two A and one B. That means ki most frequent character is two, most frequent character is two, and least one is one. So in this we have we have the add answer to the result is one. because the beauty is this specific substring is one. Next one is A, B, C. Okay. So most frequent character is A, that means 2, and B and C have the frequency 1 and 1. So 2 minus 1 is equal 1, and we will add 1 and 2. After this same kind of things we can calculate over this. Next example is also there. So you can try run of this on this example, and that will be the output of 17. So before starting the code of our question, let's see the constraint. There was the question. Question is saying the question is saying that the maximum length will be the only 500 characters. That means we can, as we know that LeetCode is have the 100 million 100 million operations per second. So let's see that can we solve in the big of any square, because we can say that how many squares of what if the we have the most length like 500 characters. So can we solve in the big of any square? So let's see that can we solve it in big of any square, because what will the square of 500? 500 multiplied by 500 is equals to 500 to 500 and 0. Okay, so these operation is 250,000. Okay, 250,000. That means we can solve in this big of n square. Let's see, can we solve this in big of n cube? Big of n cube. So let's see, as we know that only LeetCode only has the 100 million, sorry, 10 million. Only operation per second 10 million. Sorry, 1 million operations per second. Okay. So let's see that in this condition we have the 250,000. That means we can calculate our answer in big of n square time complexity. Let's see that we can solve it in big of n cube time complexity. That means we have to the most length of the strings. Let's say 500 multiplied by 500 multiplied by 500. That means what will be the operations of executing this specific task if we solve the question is big of n cube time of complexity. So what will the cube of 500? So 500 cube will be the 1 to 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 2, 4 and 6. That means what is the what is this number? Number is crossing the 1 billion plus. So that means So that means this number is crossing 1 billion plus operation, 1 billion plus operation. So that means we cannot solve the big of n cube time complexity. So let's see the solution in the big of n square time complexity. So first of all that we have to before the calculating of the beauty of any substring, that string, then we have to find that specific substring. Then how can we find that specific substring to calculate that beauty? So okay, so how to find the substrings of the string. So as you know that we have two loops and one is nested loop. Okay. Mm, so this we can achieve by the nested loops. And nested loop time complexity will be the big of n square. So that we can do with this. So we can use the big nested loops for calculating our substrings. So next question is comes in our mind that how can we find the beauty? Okay, how can we find the beauty of that specific substring? So let's see. Let's see the example of this. So A, B, C, and B. Okay. So in this condition, let's take a substring. So substr. I'm denoting the substring by substr variable. So the substrings of S is A, B, C, B. So A, B, C, B is also the substrings of S. That is this. Okay. So our question is comes in our mind that how can we find the beauty? Beauty, that means B is repeated twice and A is repeated once and C is also repeated once. So so in this condition the question is coming in our mind that we can use the hash table. Hash table. So hash table is works for the storing the frequency of the characters. So we can find our most frequent characters and least frequent characters from our hash table. So that is why we will use the hash table for finding the frequency beauty of that specific substring. So hash table hash table will be used will be used for the find the find the beauty for find the beauty of Celestia. Okay, I thought you have understood the explanation and workflow of the question that how we will solve this question. So let's start our code and let's try to solve this question. Before, so let n will be the length of the string as dot length, and we will use the two loops, and that one is the nested ones. So for let I equals 0, I less than s dot length and I plus plus. In here we will define the map in every times of the every substring when I will be increased. When I here we will use our map for calculating our substrings. When I will be reach over here, then we will define our new map. So every time when I will be increased, then we will define our new map. So let my map will be new map new map. Okay, and this will be the nested loop. So let j equals j will be start from the i's position wherever I from. Let's see if y is here, then j will not starting from here. J will start from ith position. So j will be starting from ith position and j is less than n. So for simplicity, we should not calculate twice the length. We have already calculated the length of our strings. So that is storing variable n. So here is the main purpose for the storing our cal calculating our the result. So we can declare our result over here. Initial result will be the 0. So every time, so my map my map dot, what will be the do over here? We will set our jth letter for our finding the calculations for our beauty. Okay, so set as of j, and we will also set our frequency of that specific letter, correct? So my map my map dot get as of j, and as of j, if we find as of j, that means, well, if we not find the specific character in our map, then we will start from the zero. Okay, zero, and we will add one in that frequency. So we have set our values. We will calculate our beauty only if my map will increase greater than my map of size will must have the one greater than one. Okay, so we will have to find our max value of the frequency. So my map dot, sorry, math dot max value of that frequency size. Mm, we will copy our my map over here. My map dot values. Okay, and then we can find our minimum value. So math dot min, and then we'll copy our map over here. Map dot values. Okay, and after it we will add after we will add in the frequencies in our result. So result as is equals maxFreq minus min value, and after calculation of all this, we find our beauties, and we return our result over here. So I will return our result. Okay, so let's cross check our tuition that we have written our code right or wrong. So as dot length result 0, let I length, let my map new map, so let j I plus plus my map dot set as dot get as j 0 plus 1. If my map is greater than 1, then find our maximum value and minimum value. Okay, so okay, let's try to test our test cases that passed or not. Okay, we have passed our test cases, so let's submit our question. Mhm. So our question also passed our all the test cases, that was 57 test cases. So this was the this is the explanation code and all these things of this specification. That was the LeetCode 175 1781 question. So you can dry run of this question at your own, or your that is your homework. Okay, so thank you for watching, and let's meet in our new video. So I will also try to persistent over this journey. Okay, so thank you for watching this one.